Welcome from Herne Bay High School. Rather than write to you this week, I thought I'd do a very short message just to update you on a few changes for next week and also just to give you an opportunity to share a few key bits of information with your children so that they are ready to join us again next week. So first of all, the most important thing is we are gradually starting to see the re-emergence of many of the great things that we do at Herne Bay High School. Excited last week to be thinking about the ski trip for next year, which is the first time we've been planning something that's a residential stay. We've got our A-level dancers doing their final major project next week, and they're going to be a live audience in there. And gradually students are getting back into some of the specialist areas. All of the students will be back in science labs by the after half term, and technology, food and art lessons should be back in their original places. So even though it's been a very tricky time for us all, certainly in school, back at Herne Bay High School, it is starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, which is fantastic news. I'm standing talking to you from our LRC, which is right in the heart of the school. I apologise if there's a bit of background noise, but we've got a Year 13 lesson going on and we've got the normal day-to-day busyness of school happening around me, so it's all good news. The other big announcement that came out was last Monday, was the government in part of its sort of roadmap to unpick the coronavirus protection, have made a big announcement around face coverings in school that I know some of you will be pleased about and maybe others a little bit anxious. The guidance was quite clear. It says from Monday the 17th that face coverings are no longer required for students, and that is in classroom and moving around the school, whereas for staff it's face masks don't need to be worn unless it's difficult to maintain the 2 metre social distance, when they can still be worn. I'm conscious that all of our situations are very different, and the way one family is very different to another family. So here at the school what we're going to say is, if your child would like to wear a mask still, if they feel that a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit nervous with the sudden change, there is absolutely no problem if they would like to continue to wear their mask, but it's no longer the recommendation. So it's really a choice now that they can individually make. And the same message has gone to staff as well. What we do need to do as we start to come out of all of the restrictions that we've had in place is to start to get back to normality as much as we can in terms of the classroom routines, teaching and learning, to ensure that the students make up that rapid progress and make up for the lost time when they've been working from home. So it's really important for all the students as they come into school from today, but basically specifically from Monday next week, they are absolutely prepared, ready to learn. They're in the right uniform, they've got the right equipment, and they're absolutely focused around trying to do the best they possibly can. What we don't want to see is any wasted time. It's going to be a precious 7 weeks after we get back from the May half term, in the lead up to the summer holidays, where there's a lot of opportunity for all students in all years to make up for some of the lost time. And we will be doing everything we can as a school to focus on that. So specifically, I'd just like you to share a message that I will be sharing in assembly on Friday with your children, and reiterate and reinforce the message over the weekend. The weather is getting better, okay? We are in summer uniform, and coats, if it's chilly, can be worn into school, but coats in classrooms is something that is not necessary. So we want children sitting in the classroom ready to actually get on with their work, not with their coats on and scarves on or anything like that. So please, the message is quite clear. From Monday next week, students will not need to be wearing a coat in the class at all. Okay, if it is a little bit inclement, bring in the jumper, wear a school jumper to school over the top just to keep them warm. If it's a bit chilly, it's absolutely fine. But please, no coats in the classroom. Second thing, we need to make sure children are absolutely focused on learning in the class. So if a mobile phone is out or if a child has got their headphones in, unfortunately they will be confiscated. The only reason that they would be out is if the teacher has asked them to use them for part of the learning exercise, and that's entirely proper and it is still allowed. The other thing, please talk to your children about making sure they use their break time and their before school and after time to ensure they are ready and they can actually make it through either the single or the double lesson, because there's no real need to have to break that period of learning for moving out of the class for any reason at all. So it is all very much about business as usual and making sure the routines that the school has been so brilliant at over the years are got back into place, and we focus on one main thing, which is making sure we do the very best we can, learn as much as we can, and get ourselves prepared for our end of year exams and our futures, which would be fantastic. And your support as ever is hugely important in this process. We will say it from our end, we will enforce it at our end, but as a parent we just would like you to reiterate it and to be on this journey with us, so thank you very much for that. So just to finish off to this week's message, a couple of things. Please try and support the safety of all by sticking to the lateral flow testing process. The government and the school still firmly believe that this will help us keep ourselves safe and mitigate against any issues around positive cases. So you'll get your text message on a Wednesday and a Sunday, so please make sure that you do that and record the result, and that will help us keep everyone safe. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to try to just get year 10 and year 9 into school through the gates probably about 5 minutes earlier starting from next week, and give them a little bit more time in mental time in the morning just to get themselves set up for the day. That shouldn't make a great deal of difference because for the majority of the students are at school ready, but if your child is a little lax or a little bit slow getting out in the morning, it might be an opportunity just to chivvy them up a little bit and ensure they're at school on time. So, few things for next week. Obviously face coverings is one, making sure that we're equipped for school is another, uniform is a third, good bit of light at the end of the tunnel, sporting activities back in place, so lots of things to look forward to and hopefully a really exciting summer term. Do hope you have a good weekend, and as soon as we get any further update or further guidance, of course I'll share it with you in either a letter or maybe another video message. So have a good weekend, take care and speak again soon. Thank you.